Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of petty management, revenge, and sweet, sweet karma. This one's from Reddit, and it takes us back to the early 2010s, before fancy editing tools were everywhere, and when content creators were few and far between. Let's get into it. This happened in the early 2010s, back before the big leaps in tech for editing and content creation. I was hired as a content creator for a university that wanted to use YouTube to boost their branding campaign. The pay was low, around 2,200 USD, and back then, there weren't a ton of video content creators, so production usually took a long time, start to finish. Anyway, on my second day, my manager handed me a KPI, 85 videos, between 3 to 10 minutes each, all to be done in 52 weeks. And it was just me, one person, which meant I had to write scripts, produce, cast talent, shoot, compose music, because they were too cheap to pay for a royalty-free music subscription, and edit. Oh, and I had to use my own equipment and software because their cameras and computers were ancient. They couldn't even handle 720p, let alone 1080p. I tried explaining this to my manager, but she just smiled and said, "Give it a try. If the videos are good, I won't focus too much on the quantity." So I thought, okay, let's give it a shot. At first, she treated me well, for about a month. But one day she found out I was a smoker, and her entire attitude flipped overnight. A colleague of mine literally face-palmed when I told her, and she warned me, she hates smokers, tries to get them fired if she can. After that, it was non-stop nitpicking. I smelled like cigarettes after my breaks. She complained about me coming in 5 to 10 minutes late. Even though I was doing over 4 hours of unpaid overtime daily, she even got mad that I wasn't reachable during my breaks. Still, I kept my head down and kept grinding. I just wanted to do good work. 5 months in, I get called into the director's office. My stomach drops the second I walk in and see my manager sitting there, putting on this fake, concerned but serious face. I knew something was up. The director tells me she's disappointed. She's heard I'm behind on my work. She points out we're halfway through the year, and I've only completed 30 of the 85 videos. I explain everything. That I've been working my butt off 6 days a week, over 60 hours, and I'm a one-man team doing it all with my own gear. I also pointed out that the videos I did produce were performing the best the university's YouTube channel had ever seen. I even reminded them that my manager said she cared about quality over quantity. But nope, the director says the KPI is the KPI, and since I'm behind, they're ending my contract early. Then the kicker. I asked, "How are you going to hit the KPI now?" And my manager smirks and goes, "We'll find a professional production house to finish your work." The director gave her a weird look, but nodded and said, "Don't worry, manager will get the job done." And right there, a light bulb went off in my head. See, as the content lead, I had been managing the database of production houses in case we ever needed help with a big shoot. And I was certain my manager had zero contacts in the industry. So before I left, I messed with the database. I changed all the phone numbers and email contacts except for one. That one? My friend, a junior director, not an assistant, a director, at a small production house. I called him up and said, "Hey, I've got a plan. This can be a big win for both of us." I'd teach him exactly how to pitch to the university, how to hit every pain point and sell them on the dream. In exchange, his company would pay me a standard finder's fee, 15%. He was in, no questions asked. I got on the phone with his general manager, and once he saw the scope, 6 months of work, high six-figure payout, he was in too. They signed a contract right away. I gave them the step-by-step playbook, every little detail they needed. And surprise, surprise, they were the perfect fit. They magically understood the university's needs, content style, and themes. The director and my old manager were blown away and signed them on the spot. Now keep in mind, this wasn't cheap. Hiring a professional production house back then meant paying double or triple my monthly salary per video. But they had a full team: producer, director, director of photography, gaffer, sound, video editor, assistants, you name it. So within 4 months, they produced 50 videos, and the university paid them over 100 times what they were paying me. And me? I sat back and collected my 15%, which ended up being the equivalent of 15 months of my salary. I used that money to fund a well-deserved vacation and enroll in a top film school overseas. And just when I thought it was all over, I got a call from that same colleague who warned me about the manager. I was in Bali chilling when she told me, my former manager fired the director, chewed out by the chancellor. Turns out the project I was hired for had a budget equal to about a year and a half of my salary. My manager had blown past that by over 10 times. She was so desperate to complete the project that she approved every production invoice without getting the director's sign-off. So in the end, not only did I help my friend get promoted to full director at his company and land a six-figure contract, but I also got paid, got my revenge, and moved on to bigger and better things. So yeah, sometimes karma doesn't just knock. It shows up in full HD with professional lighting, a film crew, and a six-digit invoice. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of one person who knows what they're doing, and don't burn bridges with the one guy holding the keys to your entire content strategy. If you like this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? Catch you in the next one.